It's funny, isn't it? How some places, some buildings, can just stick in your mind. The ones that gnaw at you even when you're miles away. For years, I couldn't shake the thought of the old asylum. You know the one I mean, the one where the stories live, where the echoes of the past aren't so much whispers as they are screams you can't quite hear, but you know are there. It was the summer of '97 when I first came across it. A small town nestled in the hollow of the mountains, its streets winding in tight curls as if the roads themselves had given up on finding their way. The asylum had stood there, looming at the edge of town, for longer than anyone cared to remember. But people didn't talk about it. At least not openly. I suppose that's why I was drawn to it. The mystery. The first thing that strikes you when you see it, and let me tell you, it strikes hard, is how untouched it is. You expect decay, the crumbling kind of rot that takes its time. But no, this place, it's almost too pristine, like it's preserved in some kind of dark amber. The ivy that clings to the walls almost looks too perfect, too unnatural. The windows, though long shattered, have a peculiar gleam in them that you can't explain. Like they're waiting for someone, or something, to come back. As I made my way up the gravel path, my boots crunching the pebbles underfoot, I could feel the air grow thick. The wind had this way of carrying faint sounds, whispers, if you want to call them that, swirling just out of reach. I didn't want to hear them. But damn it, I couldn't stop myself. The front doors were wide open, their brass handles tarnished by years of neglect, yet still gleaming as though someone had polished them yesterday. I wasn't surprised. The asylum was a legend. People had come here before, even after it was abandoned. They didn't stay long, mind you. No one ever stayed long. Inside, the hall stretched out like some kind of twisted cathedral, the air damp and stale, thick with the smell of something rotten. You can't describe it any other way. But it wasn't just the smell. It was the sensation. Like the place itself was alive, breathing, pulling you in. I moved down the corridor, the floorboards creaking under my weight, an old staircase to my right, leading up into the dark. The whispers started again, soft at first. I thought it was the wind. But no! The wind doesn't whisper names. And it doesn't beg. I stopped in my tracks, my pulse racing. The name. It was faint at first, but I swear to you, it was there. My name. My own damn name. At first, I chalked it up to nerves. I mean, who wouldn't be on edge in a place like this? But as I continued through the hallway, passing room after room, each more oppressive than the last, I started to notice something. A pattern. The whispers weren't random. They were calling to me, telling me to come closer. I should have left. God knows I should have turned around and walked right out of that forsaken place. But instead, I did the opposite. I moved toward the sound. The first room I opened was nothing special, just a bare, dilapidated space covered in a thick layer of dust. Old, broken furniture littered the floor. Chairs upturned, shelves sagging with the weight of years of abandonment. But there was something else. Something moving. In the corner of my eye, I saw it, a shadow, darting just outside my line of vision, disappearing the moment I turned to face it. I wasn't imagining it. I knew that. But it didn't matter, did it? The place had already sunk its claws into me. I had to keep going. I stepped into the next room, a small chamber tucked away in the back of the asylum. The door had been left ajar, its hinges long rusted. I entered and froze. The walls. Oh, the walls. They were covered in markings, strange symbols scratched into the peeling paint. But that wasn't what got me. No. What got me were the eyes. Painted eyes, dark and staring, looking out from beneath the symbols. Hundreds of them, thousands, it felt like, scattered across every inch of the room. All of them watching, waiting, seeing. And then, the whispers grew louder. I could make out the words now, just barely. Asterisk, come closer. Asterisk. I felt a chill creep up my spine. It was more than the air in the room. It was something deeper, something inside of me that froze the blood in my veins. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a force that rattled the windows. I tried the handle. Nothing. And then, I heard it again. Asterisk, come closer. Asterisk. But this time, it wasn't a whisper. It was a voice. A voice I recognized. A voice that shouldn't have been there. My father's. You see, my father used to tell me stories when I was a kid. Dark stories, ghost stories, things that would make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. But there was one story he used to tell that always haunted me. The story of a place, an asylum, where the souls of the lost were trapped. And sometimes, they would whisper. They would call out to those who wandered too close. I should have known. I should have listened to that part of me that was screaming at me to get out. But I didn't. I didn't listen to any of it. The walls began to close in. The room seemed to shrink, the air thicker, harder to breathe. I could hear footsteps now, faint at first, but growing louder. Closer. They echoed down the hallway, muffled but unmistakable. I couldn't see anyone, but I could feel them. I could feel their eyes on me, pressing into my skin like 1,000 tiny needles. The whispers weren't just in my ears anymore. They were in my head. Asterisk, come closer. Asterisk. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shout, to fight, to break down that damn door and run. But the whispers had woven themselves into the very fabric of my thoughts. They were my thoughts. My desires. My fears. I looked around frantically. There was no way out. No escape. And then, in the far corner of the room, I saw it. A door. A small, unmarked door I had missed before. I didn't know how I missed it. Maybe it hadn't been there before. Or maybe I'd just been too consumed with the voices to see it. I rushed to the door, my heart hammering in my chest. The whispers were growing louder now, pounding in my skull. They were drowning me. Asterisk, come closer. Asterisk. I reached for the handle, my fingers trembling. It was cold, freezing, as if the door had been waiting for me all this time. I turned it. The door swung open, and that's when I saw her. She was standing in the middle of the room, a woman in a white gown, her face obscured by long, matted hair. She didn't move. She didn't speak. But I felt her. I felt her presence as if she were pressing against me, suffocating me with her silence. I tried to back away, but the room seemed to shift. The walls pressed in tighter, the floor uneven beneath my feet. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. The only thing I could do was listen. Listen to the whispers. And then, she spoke. Asterisk, you shouldn't have come. Asterisk. I froze. Her voice was soft, but it cut through the air like a razor. Before I could react, I heard something else. A low growl coming from somewhere deep within the asylum. It wasn't an animal. No. It was something worse. Something hungry. And that's when I understood. The asylum wasn't just a building. It was a living thing. A thing that fed on fear. A thing that thrived on the lost souls it trapped within its walls. I had wandered too far into its depths. I had come too close to the whispers. And now, there was no way out. I can feel it now. The air is thick, almost suffocating. My heartbeat is the loudest thing in the room, thudding against my ribs like it's trying to escape. Every breath feels like it might be my last, but I can't seem to move. I can't look away from her, this woman in the white gown, standing so still, her face hidden by that mess of tangled hair. It's as if time itself has stopped in this place. You shouldn't have come, she says again, her voice so soft, but each word feels like it's been etched into my skull with a razor. She doesn't move. Her hands, hidden in the folds of her gown, remain still. But I can feel the weight of her presence, as if something inside her is watching me, something much older, much darker than a simple woman could ever be. I try to speak, to form words, but my throat is dry, and my tongue feels thick. I open my mouth, and the sound that escapes is nothing more than a rasp, a wheezing breath. But somehow, it's enough for her to hear. Asterisk, you've heard them, haven't you? Asterisk, she asks, tilting her head slightly, though I still can't see her face. Asterisk, the whispers? Asterisk. I nod. It's the only thing I can do, and it feels like the only honest thing left to do. The whispers, they've been all around me, inside my head, in my ears, pulling me further and further into the asylum. Now, the voices are louder. They're not just words anymore. They're thoughts, fragments of memories, pieces of old lives that never had the chance to finish. They're hungry, she says, almost matter-of-factly, and I feel a shiver run down my spine. Asterisk, they're always hungry. Asterisk. Her words sink into the room like smoke, curling around me, tightening. And for the first time, I understand. I know what she means. This place, it isn't just haunted. It's a prison. A prison for souls, for those whose lives were taken too soon or too violently. And the asylum? The asylum is their keeper. It feeds on them, traps them in the endless cycle of fear and despair. It collects them, one by one, until they're nothing but empty echoes, lost and forgotten by the world outside. And those whispers, the ones that call to me? They're not just voices in the air. They're the last remnants of those who came before me, trapped in the asylum's grip. You'll join them, she says. Her voice has changed now, darkened. Asterisk, they always do. Asterisk. A terrible realization creeps into my mind. This woman isn't just another ghost. She's a warning. She's one of the lost souls, someone who tried to escape and failed. Now, she's here, with me. And whatever force haunts this place, whatever malevolent thing feeds on fear, it's made its choice. It's chosen me. I try to move, to back away, but the room, the very walls themselves, are closing in. It's as if the asylum is feeding off my terror, growing stronger, pushing me deeper into its heart. The whispers have turned into wails, the mournful cries of people who never had a chance to find peace. They're all around me now, loud and desperate. They're pulling me, urging me forward. Their voices are like hands, grabbing at my limbs, my neck, pulling me toward the woman in white. Please, no, I whisper, my voice a hoarse plea. She takes a step forward, and I can hear the faintest shuffle of her gown, the only sound in the suffocating silence. Slowly, she lifts her head. Her face, the one I've been dreading, comes into view, and I wish I could tear my eyes away. But I can't. I can't look anywhere else. Her face isn't a face at all. It's a mask of writhing shadows, swirling, churning, like a storm of darkness and light. Eyes appear in the swirling blackness, thousands of them, each one staring at me, searching, judging. They're watching me with hunger, with an insatiable thirst. She opens her mouth to speak, and the voice that emerges is not her own. It's a chorus of many voices, all overlapping, each one speaking at once, speaking in different tones, in different languages. Join us, they say, the words ringing in my ears, vibrating in my skull. Asterisk, come to us. You are one of us now. Asterisk. The ground beneath me shifts. The walls bend inward, and I can hear the sound of chains dragging across the floor, as if the asylum itself is waking up, stretching, preparing to swallow me whole. I try to run. I force myself to turn, to find the door. But no matter how many steps I take, I can't seem to get closer. The door is just as far away as it was when I first saw it. I can feel the pulse of the asylum beneath my feet, like a heartbeat. Its rhythm, slow and steady, a steady thrum that grows louder with each passing second. The whispers are drowning me, pulling at my mind, twisting my thoughts. I can't focus. I can't think. And then, I hear it. A sound so faint, so fragile, that I almost miss it. A tiny, tiny voice, buried deep beneath all the others. It's a voice I recognize. It's my own. Asterisk, help me. Asterisk. I stop dead in my tracks. My own voice. but not the voice I hear now. No, this one is younger. It's me, a boy, calling out for someone. Calling out for help. I turn, frantically searching, but the woman in white is gone. The room is empty. The walls are now nothing but peeling, rotting boards, and the air smells of mildew and decay. But the whispers, they haven't stopped. They're all around me now, inside me. My own voice. My own plea. It's echoing through my mind, coming from every direction. I feel pressure building, pushing against my chest. It's the air in here. It's getting thicker, heavier. And then I hear it again. Not from the walls, not from the shadows, but from within me, from the very depths of my soul. Asterisk, help me. Asterisk. I don't know how long I stand there, trembling, my heart pounding. Time has no meaning here. It's just the silence, the waiting, the whispers. I want to leave. I need to leave. But I don't know if I can. Because in that moment, I realize something. The asylum isn't just trapping the souls of the dead. It's trapping the souls of the living too. And I'm already one of them. I can feel it now, this undeniable weight settling in my chest, as if the very air is turning to lead. The whispers are inside me, twisting, contorting my thoughts into something foreign. I try to scream, to call out, but no sound escapes. It's as if my voice has been swallowed by the asylum itself, absorbed into its walls, into its foundation. I stumble forward, my legs feeling like they're made of stone, as though every step is a battle I can't win. The air is suffocating, pressing against my skin like 1,000 invisible hands, clawing at me, pulling me down. My vision blurs, the edges of the room melting into shadow, and I feel myself falling, not physically, but mentally, spiraling deeper into this place that's no longer just an abandoned asylum. It's something far darker, something far more dangerous. It's a labyrinth of fear and despair, designed to trap souls like mine, to twist them until there's nothing left but the whispers. I push on, though I don't know why. What's the point of escaping? This place, it doesn't just hold you. It makes you forget that you even wanted to leave. It erases your desire, your drive, until the only thing you can think about is the next step, the next whisper, the next face that will appear from the darkness. And then, as if in a dream, I see it. The door. It's barely visible through the haze of shadows, but I know it's there. It's the only way out, the only escape. I force myself toward it, each movement feeling like I'm dragging myself through quicksand. My heartbeat is deafening now, pounding in my ears. I don't know how much longer I can last. When I reach the door, I don't hesitate. I yank it open with all the strength I have left, desperate to get away from whatever has a hold on me. But what I find on the other side isn't the world I remember. It's not the light of day or the soft hum of life outside the asylum. It's another hallway. A different part of the building. But it's the same. The same darkness, the same suffocating air, the same whispers, now louder, more urgent. I turn, half expecting the door to slam shut behind me, trapping me in this nightmare. But it doesn't. The door stays open. I look back, and the doorway to the hallway from which I came is gone. The asylum, it seems, is shifting again, changing around me. It's as if it knows me, knows my every move, my every thought. And then I hear it. The unmistakable sound of footsteps. Slow, measured, deliberate. They're not my own. They're someone else's. Someone or something else is walking toward me. I can't bring myself to move, to run. Something in the pit of my stomach tells me that running will only make it worse. The whispers in my mind are growing stronger, more insistent. They're no longer a murmur. They're a command, a beckoning. Asterisk, join us. Asterisk. The voice is clearer now, as if it's speaking directly to me, inside my head. It's not the woman in the white gown. It's not any one person. It's the collective voice of the asylum itself, the souls trapped within, the ones who've been forgotten. They're all speaking at once now, urging me, calling me. The footsteps stop, and I hear a faint rustling sound, like fabric brushing against the floor. Then a soft, low laugh, one that crawls under my skin, sending chills racing down my spine. It's not human, this laugh. It's something darker, something that exists only in places like this. I take a step back, heart pounding, every nerve screaming for me to get out, to leave this place before it's too late. But I can't. Something is holding me here. The asylum, it won't let go. You can't escape, a voice whispers, though this time, it's not a chorus of voices. It's one, low and guttural, like the growl of a beast in the dark. I whip around, my eyes desperately searching for the source. I feel it, something is standing just behind me, so close I can feel its breath, but when I turn, there's nothing there. Only the endless shadows, stretching out in all directions. And then I hear it again. A faint voice, barely a whisper, but unmistakable. Help me. This time, it's different. It's not a young voice, nor a pleading one. It's deep, guttural, like it's coming from the bowels of the earth itself. The same voice that had called to me earlier, the same voice that had cried out from within the asylum's walls. But now it's closer. Much closer. I can feel it in the air, the tension building around me, choking the life out of the room. I know what's coming. I don't have to see it to know. Whatever is here, it's not human. Not anymore. It steps into view then. Slowly, methodically, like it's savoring the moment. And I see it, finally. It's not a person at all. Not anymore. It's a twisted amalgamation of shadow and flesh, a thing that has been warped by the asylum's darkness. Its face is a mess of jagged features, hollow eyes that stare straight into my soul, a mouth stretched wide and a grotesque grin that's far too big for its face. And it smiles at me. Not a smile of kindness. Not a smile of anything human. It's the smile of a predator, of something that has learned to love the hunt. We're all the same now, it whispers, its voice crackling in the silence. Asterisk, no one leaves here. No one ever does. Asterisk. I want to scream, to run, but I know there's nowhere to go. The asylum has already claimed me, body and soul. And the whispers, they're louder now. They've taken form, taken shape, and they're all around me, pulling me, swallowing me whole. Asterisk, you belong to us. Asterisk. And then, the laughter. Endless. Dark. Familiar. The laughter echoes through the asylum, bouncing off the walls, reverberating in my skull like a drumbeat, each rumble vibrating deep within me. It's not just the thing in front of me anymore. It's the whole asylum, alive, breathing, moving with its own rhythm, feeding off the fear in my heart, growing stronger with every second that passes. I can feel its eyes on me, the thing's hollow, deeping stare, drilling into my very being. It steps closer, its form shifting in and out of shadow, as if it doesn't belong here, as if it's something foreign, something that's been waiting, lurking in the deepest recesses of the asylum, patiently biding its time. Its mouth moves again, forming words that I can't quite make out. The sound is like scraping metal, raw and jagged. It's too late now, it says, the words a rasping growl that leaves a cold trail in the air. Asterisk, the whispers are all around you. They've always been. Always will be. Asterisk. My heart races, my body frozen in place as the darkness closes in. The shadows around me seem to stretch and pulse, twisting like something alive, like a living entity, and the whispers, the voices, they're louder now. They're all around me, crawling into my ears, their words not just outside, but inside my head. I can't escape them. They've infiltrated every part of me. You've heard us, they murmur, you've always heard us. I can't tell where the voices are coming from anymore. Are they from the walls? From the floor? Or are they just inside my mind, twisting, warping my thoughts? It doesn't matter. They're here, surrounding me, suffocating me. I try to scream. I try to run, but my legs are paralyzed. I can't move. The asylum is holding me, keeping me in place, forcing me to face this thing, whatever it is, whatever it has become. The creature, if I can even call it that, takes another step forward, its grin widening, splitting its face in two. Its teeth are sharp, impossibly sharp, like jagged shards of glass, gleaming in the dim light. I can feel its breath on my skin now, cold and damp, sending a shiver down my spine. The air is thick, heavy, almost suffocating. I can taste the decay in the air, the staleness of something ancient, something that has been buried here for too long. You've come here willingly, it says, its voice a distorted whisper, like 1,000 voices being crushed together. Asterisk, now you belong to us. Asterisk. It reaches out, its fingers stretching unnaturally long, like the limbs of a spider, curling around the air as it inches closer. I want to fight back, to break free, but the moment its fingers touch my skin, everything freezes. A cold, icy wave shoots through me, paralyzing me in place, the sensation spreading through my body, freezing my thoughts, my breath. And then I hear it. A distant sound, faint but unmistakable. A door creaking. The whispers falter. The creature stops. For a moment, it's as if the asylum itself is holding its breath, listening. I dare not look away, but something compels me to turn. To look. Slowly, I turn my head, my body stiff with fear. The hallway behind me is pitch black. There's nothing there, or so it seems. The shadows are deep, impossibly deep, as if the darkness itself has weight. But then, just beyond the reach of the dim light, the door is there. The door I came through. The door that had disappeared earlier. And through it, just beyond the threshold, there's something. Someone. A figure stands there, just out of reach of the light, hidden in the shadows. I can't make out the details, but I know it's there. It's tall, humanoid, with something about its posture that feels familiar. For a moment, it's as though the world has shifted, and I'm not alone in this nightmare. Help me, the voice whispers again. This time, it's a whisper I know. It's not a growl. It's not a command. It's soft, like the rustle of a leaf in the wind. It's the same voice I heard earlier. The one I have recognized, the one I heard from within the asylum. It's my voice. But it's not. It's a plea. It's the voice of the person I used to be. The one I had been before all of this, the one who had come here with curiosity, with hope, looking for answers. The one who hadn't known what he was walking into. And in that moment, I understand. The whispers are not just the voices of the dead. They are the voices of those who have walked into this asylum, just like me, who came searching for something. And now, we are all trapped here. All of us. The ones who thought we could escape. The ones who thought we could leave with the truth, with knowledge. But the truth is that there is no leaving. Not here. Not for any of us. I take a step forward. No, I don't. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why my feet are moving. It's as if the asylum itself is controlling me now, as if it's pulling me toward the darkness, toward the thing standing in the shadows. I can feel the coldness wrapping around my limbs, squeezing my chest, pulling me forward, step by agonizing step. The whispers grow louder again, this time almost deafening, as though the voices of the asylum's prisoners are all crying out in unison. And they're not just trapped in the walls. They're inside me. They're inside my mind. They're pulling at me, clawing at my thoughts. Join us, they whisper, asterisk, join us in the dark. There's no escape. There's never been an escape, asterisk. I reach out, my hand trembling as I touch the doorframe. The wood is cold, slick with moisture. I know what this is. I know what it means. The door, it's not the way out. It's the entrance to something else. Something worse. Something far worse than I can imagine. But I open it anyway. The door creaks on its hinges, and as it swings wide, the darkness spills out into the room, swallowing everything. There's nothing but blackness. No light. No sound. Just the cold, suffocating grip of the unknown. And I step inside. The moment I step through, the door slams shut behind me with a deafening crash. The sound is so violent that it seems to shake the very foundation of the asylum. My heart lurches, panic rising in my chest as I realize that the door is no longer an escape. It's a trap, a gateway to something darker than I could ever have imagined. The air around me is thick with an unnatural stillness, a suffocating weight that presses down on my lungs, making it hard to breathe. I stand in the darkness, unable to see a thing, but I can feel the presence of something lurking just beyond my reach, just out of sight. It's there, watching, waiting. The whispers are gone now, replaced by an oppressive silence, a silence so deep and complete that it feels like the world itself has been swallowed whole. And then, footsteps. Soft at first, distant, but growing closer with each passing second. I hold my breath, every muscle in my body frozen in place. I can't tell where they're coming from. There's no direction to them, no rhythm. They're coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. My skin crawls, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end as the sound grows louder. Closer. I try to move, to run, but my body refuses to obey. I'm paralyzed, trapped in the dark with something, someone that is hunting me. The footsteps stop. Suddenly. Completely. I don't dare move. I don't dare breathe. You shouldn't have come here. The voice is low and raspy, like a whisper carried on the wind. It echoes through the blackness, but it's not just a voice, it's a presence. A feeling. I can sense it now, the thing speaking to me, standing just beyond my reach, close enough for me to feel its breath on my skin. The voice doesn't belong to the creature from before. It's not the twisted thing I saw in the hallway. This voice, this is different. It's not full of malice. No, it's worse. It's almost pleading, like someone who's seen the abyss and wants to drag you into it with them. You should have listened. The voice fades into the silence, leaving a trail of cold dread in its wake. The air is thick, like something heavy is pressing against it, pushing me into the corner of this suffocating room, but I can't see anything. I try to swallow, but my throat is dry, tight with fear. The darkness wraps around me, closing in as if the very room is alive, tightening its grip with every passing second. Then, another whisper. This one's different. This one is sharp, jagged, like glass breaking. You're one of us now. I turn sharply, instinctively, my heart pounding in my chest. But there's nothing there. No figure. No movement. Just the thick, unrelenting darkness, as if the very air has solidified into something tangible, something suffocating. The whispers return, more insistent now, more frantic. They surge around me, a tidal wave of voices, all calling out at once, each one trying to reach me, trying to claim me. They're coming from all directions, surrounding me. I can feel the temperature drop, the cold creeping into my bones, into my very soul. It's as if I'm being drawn into the very fabric of the asylum itself, becoming part of it, part of its endless, twisting nightmare. We've been waiting for you. The words aren't just in my ears anymore. They're inside my head, crawling under my skin, twisting my thoughts. My vision blurs, my mind spins, and I try to push it away, to break free of the suffocating grip, but I can't. It's everywhere. The walls seem to pulse with the voices, with the weight of the place, as if it's alive, breathing. I can hear them, feel them, reaching out to me. And then, out of the corner of my eye, a shadow moves. I whip my head toward it, but it's gone, vanished into the darkness as quickly as it appeared. I'm not alone here. I know I'm not alone. But there's no one to see, no one to fight against. Just shadows, just whispers, just the suffocating void that is swallowing everything around me. You can't leave. None of us can. The voice is clearer now, more distinct, and for the first time, I realize that it's not just one voice. It's a chorus. 1,000 voices speaking together, all pleading, all desperate. I've heard them before, buried in the walls, hidden in the halls. I've heard them all along, and I've never realized it until now. I've become part of them. I turn in every direction, trying to find the source of the voices, but there's nothing but endless, suffocating blackness. My breath comes in ragged gasps as I struggle against the panic threatening to swallow me whole. I can't stay here. I can't let the asylum take me. But I don't know where to go. I don't know how to escape. And then, the floor beneath me shifts. A low, creaking groan fills the air, like the building itself is coming alive. The shadows seem to twist and stretch, as though they're reaching for me, pulling me towards something. I feel the ground beneath me tremble, and for the first time, I realize that this place isn't just a building. It's a prison. A trap. It's alive, and it doesn't want me to leave. The whispers crescendo, reaching a deafening volume, clawing at my sanity, ripping through my mind. And then, just as quickly, they fall silent. The silence is so absolute, so complete, that I feel it in my bones. Asterisk, it's too late. Asterisk. The voice is in my ear now, cold and sharp as a knife. I spin around, heart in my throat, but there's nothing there. Just the darkness. The floor beneath me gives way. I fall. Down. Down. Endlessly. The world around me spins into nothingness, into blackness, and I realize, too late, that I've been swallowed whole by the asylum. There's no escape now. Only darkness. Only whispers. And they're everywhere. If this story left you with a chill running down your spine, don't let it end here. Hit that like button if you were captivated by the terror of whispers beneath the abandoned asylum and want more bone-chilling tales. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss another story that will haunt your dreams. And if you're brave enough, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever felt the presence of something lurking just beyond your vision? Or perhaps you've encountered a dark secret of your own? Let us know, because some whispers should never be ignored. Stay tuned, the darkness is always watching.